Well, regional discussions, security discussions to be precise, are underway in New Delhi as the 7th Colombo Security Conclave NSA meeting convenes. India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval is joined by his counterparts from Maldives, Mauritius, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, with Seychelles observing and Malaysia attending as a guest. Inaugurating the meeting, Doval even stressed on the importance of the ocean as a shared heritage for all member countries, underscoring that nations sharing the same maritime geographies have a responsibility to maintain peace and stability in the region. Doval also highlighted India's commitment to close cooperation with all CSC member states and expressed eagerness to engage with representatives from the region during the discussions.
Ocean is our biggest heritage. It is the engine that propels our economies. As countries joined by shared maritime geographies, it is our responsibility to ensure the safety, security and stability of the region.
Formed to advance security collaboration among member states and even strengthen regional stability in the Indian Ocean, the CSC convened its 7th NSA meet to review progress under its core areas: maritime security, counter-terrorism, combating organized crime, cybersecurity and even protection of critical infrastructure and humanitarian assistance, as well as disaster relief. The meeting will further outline the roadmap and action plan for next year. And this as the CSC held its 6th NSA meeting in Mauritius in December 2023 and even reconvened in Sri Lanka in August last year for the signing of its founding documents. The deputy NSAs have maintained regular engagement as well, holding their most important recent virtual meeting in July last year. On the sidelines of the conclave, Bangladesh's National Security Advisor Khalilur Rahman on Tuesday met Indian NSA Ajit Doval in New Delhi and formally invited him to Dhaka, even as bilateral relations remain strained. Since former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina fled to India, this is a crucial visit which comes as Bangladesh NSA Khalilur Rahman's first trip to India since the interim government assumed power in August last year. This was also the highest level interaction between New Delhi and Dhaka since Indian Prime Minister met interim Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus in Bangkok on the sidelines of the BIMSTEC summit. And joining us live on the broadcast from the national capital is WION's Assistant Editor for Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibal. Siddhant, this was a very significant meet on the sidelines of the summit. If you can talk to us about whether the extradition request of Sheikh Hasina was taken up in the meet between the NSAs of India and Bangladesh.
Well, essentially remember that the Bangladeshi NSA is here for the Colombo Security Dialogue, and earlier today he participated in that dialogue. But before that, both the NSAs held a rare bilateral meeting coming at a time when relationship is quite frosty. Now both sides remain mum on what transpired in the meeting, and the only confirmation of the meeting is a release by the Bangladeshi High Commission here in the Indian national capital, talking about that both sides met and the Bangladeshi NSA invited the Indian NSA Ajit Doval to visit Bangladesh. No doubt both sides must have raised their own issues. We know that the visit comes just a day after a Bangladeshi court announced death sentence and conviction for the former Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who's currently in exile here in India. And after that, we saw the Bangladeshi Foreign Ministry restating its stance that India should extradite Sheikh Hasina to Bangladesh. And no doubt that is expected to be raised by the Bangladeshi side, including perhaps in that meeting as well. India, of course, is concerned about several things, including, of course, the violation or the situation of the minorities, especially the Hindu minorities. And, of course, India's concerns over the increased security challenges, even as Bangladesh and Pakistan continue to up their engagement. We've seen the Pakistani military officials visiting Dhaka, but also politicians and political leaders also visiting Bangladesh as well. India's concern increases, particularly given the fact that how Pakistan continues to support cross-border terrorism into India. So it is natural for both sides to have these conversations. Of course, both sides remain publicly mum as to what transpired in that very important meeting that happened yesterday.
All right, Siddhant, thank you for those details. For now, we switch focus to other stories if you're tracking.